Hey guys. Alright, so in this video I want to go over the endgame version of the Voldo Farmer armor stacker. I guess it is sort of the endgame version. It's not really the 100% min-max version. There's still a lot of things that I would like to change. And if we quickly look at the Mobalytics page, in Mobalytics there's a bunch of different variants that I've added. I've already covered the budget version in a separate video. You can go check that out if you're interested. But if you go to the Mobalytics page, you can see that I've added the different sort of notable combos of Voldo maps that these different variants can run. So you can check this out and see what kind of performance you're going to get with these different versions. Anyways, in this video, I want to go over mainly this one. This is sort of the one I'm playing right now, the One Passive Voices version, although it's not really there yet because I'm missing a lot of items still. So I guess we'll cover sort of the upgrade process from the budget version all the way up to this one here that I'm kind of in between on. Alright, so first of all, let's go run a map so you guys can see what the build is like. Right now, this build has completed quite a lot of different Voldo maps, although we're not really there at on the 5-minute Union maps yet. I have completed the Iron Territory, so the 100% Delirious, less damage per item, as well as Union of Souls map. So that map took about 10 minutes to complete, which is actually a lot faster than when I first did it back in the Mercenaries League. And even though we did lose some damage from the Mercenary, because, you know, we don't have the Doriani's Prototype Merc, the monsters aren't getting extra HP, so we did lose a bit of damage, but not as much as I thought I'd be losing, so actually that's pretty nice. Anyways, so let's go run a map real quick. The map we're going to be doing is going to be this one here. This one is just a less damage per item with a Ghosted Feared, so it should be pretty easy to do. The Ghosted Feared are not really all that hard in this patch. Although, yeah, they can kill this character. This character isn't really supposed to be super tanky, but you can see, like, the last map I ran was like 3 minutes 40 seconds. You can complete these maps super quickly and just blast through these and complete like 10 different maps in like within a couple of minutes, right? And then so you make quite a lot of money when you're just like blasting these Voldo maps like this. Okay, so this map, this has the light radius mod, so I like to do this. Change this mastery here so we get the light radius is based on energy shield, so now we have a bigger area we can attack. And I did take an item off. Alright, so let's go. We'll go find the Feared. If it takes a little bit too long, then I'll just kind of fast forward to the point where we find them. Oh, okay, so they're right here. Kind of a bad spot, actually. Let's try to like run away a little bit. Usually I like to kind of bait one of them out. Like, Cortex usually always falls to. But, yeah. Okay, so I think we can kill him here. He can, like, kill me with his rotating beams, but I think we'll actually kill him off before he does anything. Alright, cool. So now we need to kill Shaper and, what's his name? Elder. It's kind of a bad spot, actually. We might die here. Maybe just run away. So I think, what's his face? Oh, there we go. Maybe just kill off Elder first. Alright. Wait, that wasn't even the real, that wasn't even the real Shaper. Alright. Great showcase. Alright. Man, this guy, a hunter guy is so annoying because he like pushes you into different things. Alright, so kill off the dragon, whatever this is. Alright, so that's like the Feared. I mean, kind of scuffed a little bit, but I mean, you can see that they're really no problem. You can kind of like run around, do whatever you want. If they get some pretty nasty ghosts, they can do a lot of damage, but I've like I think I've only failed one of these maps, and I ran like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40, 50 of these. Of this like specific map, but then so basically Ghosted Feared are pretty much they're not hard anymore, right? So like it used to be hard because of Aziri, but now that she's gone, it's pretty much a joke, right? Alright, so let's go over my current setup right now, and then we'll kind of talk about how I upgraded the character from the budget version, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's take a look at my current gear. I'll just kind of hover over it real quick. We have the mirror helmet, mirror body armor. My swords are pretty bad, but just one Resolute Technique sword, and then just another random sword. Not even max quality, right? I'm still using ashes. I will probably upgrade the amulet. This is probably the next upgrade I'm going to make. And then, but yeah. So the cool thing is though, like, I didn't even need the +8 to complete the Iron Territory in like 10 minutes. So pretty nice that you can actually do that kind of content with just the ashes, right? Because the +8 is really annoying to do. Like getting the mirror items, sure, I mean, you have to farm a mirror and mirror the items. It takes time, right? But then the amulet, you can get really unlucky and spending tons and tons of money, like multiple mirrors trying to make that the +8. I'd say the amulet, the +8 amulet is like one of the worst slots to upgrade. Anyways, I did make a simple Grace aura effect ring, and I'm using the Nimbus, of course, and then I made some gloves. These are just like 20% quality gloves. There's quite a few videos on how to craft these on YouTube. If you go check them out, I've made one in the past, and I know some other crafters like Local Hole. He made some videos on how to make these, so you can go check those videos out and see how to make them. But they're pretty simple, pretty cheap to make. I wouldn't recommend buying these unless you just absolutely hate crafting, because it's super simple. Okay, then the Mage Blood and the Relicash. Previously, in previous leagues, I used the Endurance Charge one, so +1 endurance charge, but I don't know, I don't really think we need that much damage reduction at the moment, so I just gone for more damage on mine, pretty much. Okay, so that is the gear. Here is some of the flasks we're using. The regenerate 3% of life is I don't know, this is kind of a flex slot. You can kind of do whatever you want here. This is the one I'm using right now. And we have our tincture, and for the passive tree, so I have the 1 passive voices. Got one here, and then one here. So this is the current tree we're using. There is a better brutal restraint, the one with the aura effect over here. So it has like a total of 24% increased aura effect, and I might buy that one. They're quite pricey, but I would have to get rid of this area. And this is like, this sustain is super good. Like, if we go inside a map, let's go back into this map here, and we can just go stand still, and these guys are like, they're not going to be able to kill me. Well, they're not even doing damage. Well, no, now they are. But you see, we're healing so much, but in my actual ES regen is only like 470, right? And if I get rid of this, we're gonna like die right away. Or not right away, but pretty quickly. You can see the Guardian, the regen from the Guardian is actually keeping us alive. You can see, but yeah. I guess these guys aren't really doing that much damage, but you can see we are actually starting to take damage, and then the Guardian kind of saves us a bit, right? Now let's try and get a few more mobs so you can kind of see this a little bit better. But I think we killed most of them. Anyways, so this is insane amount of regen or recovery, basically. So I don't really know if I want to lose that. Maybe once we start gearing up for like the 5-minute Valdos or those kind of maps, then we might get rid of this. But my clusters are really bad. You can see this one, I guess these are okay. I've started slowly replacing them. This one's terrible, but I could probably get quite a lot more damage if I actually just made some better clusters. But I guess it's a good time to sort of talk about how we upgrade the character, or how I'm upgrading my character. And basically from the budget version, let's go take a look on the Mobalytics page real quick so we can see what kind of gear I had. Okay, so you can see over here, the main difference is this is the budget version. This is the version I entered Waldos with. The main difference here is we're using Soul Ascension, and then we're using the Formless Flame and just some random body armor. Gives energy shield. And the very first thing we want to upgrade from this setup is we want to get a overcap, the fire overcap armor. So you can buy these actually pre-fractured on a non like perfect quality base, which is like they're pretty cheap now. So it's actually pretty affordable to make this armor yourself, or you can go copy someone's armor. But basically, the very first item we should be getting from this very like entry level setup is going to be this armor. And I honestly think if you are going to be saving up currency and like making it like build swapping that kind of stuff, then just start with this budget plus version. This version is like, I wanted to test it out to see if we could just jump into Valdos like in a super cheap setup. And that's kind of why I made this. It did work for this level of Valdos, but it did die a lot. DPS was okay, but not like super great. So I suggest the very first thing we do is it's better just to start with this, and then you'll be able to you'll have a lot better time. Okay, so very first item we need to get is basically the body armor, and I guess you make the helmet at the same time, and then we need to get a Nimbus, because Nimbus is literally gonna like double or even more like your damage for Molten Strike. So that's the very first two items we get. I guess these three are sort of a set, right? You could go for, if you want to get more damage and if you're okay with your defenses on this setup, then just get the Nimbus first. Like what I did was I bought the Nimbus first. I didn't really buy it, but I ran a Valdo map for the Nimbus and then just used that. And then while I'm using it, I had it listed on the form. So basically, so as I'm using it, I had it listed on the form for a little bit more expensive than most of the other Nimises. And then if someone would try to buy it, then I would just sell it and then get another one, pretty much. So that's what I was doing until I actually could afford to keep my own. And then I saved up money for the body armor. And then I made my own helmet, and then eventually just mirrored the helmet. But anyways, so I guess Nimbus, body armor, and then helmet. Okay, so after you get your body armor and your helmet and your Nimbus combo, basically, then what you want to do is, what I did was I upgraded my support gem. So I bought the Awakened Multi-Strike, and then I think that's the only gem that really needed to be upgraded. Like maybe you can get Empower 4 if you don't have a 4 yet. I'm still not even using any Enlightened 3s, by the way. All my Enlightens are level 3. So, you know, so basically just, I guess, the Awakened Multi-Strike, Awakened GMP if you don't have it yet. Get those items. And then after that, I made my gloves. Or actually, no, after that, I just saved up for the voices, basically. So I ran just this whole setup exactly the same with the Soul Ascension and then on the 8 passive clusters. Basically until I could buy the voices, and I just replaced the voices, and then after the voices, I got the gloves. I made my gloves, and that's pretty much the state. Oh, then after that, I made the helm, the ring. So that's kind of the situation. And you know, in between, when I had extra currency, I just bought some items for like the tattoos. And then you know, I tried crafting some jewels. Basically, whenever I had a little bit of currency free, but that's pretty much how it goes. Doing small upgrades, but mainly just getting the voices, right? And that's kind of the state we're in right now, pretty much. Basically, just trying to save up now for the amulet. So that's kind of how I upgraded the character. Let's talk a little bit about some different items that I'm using in the Valdos. So mainly, a lot of things I'm doing is I'm changing my flasks and my gems. First of all, we'll go over how I run the petrify maps. So there is the maps with like the monsters inflict petrify on hit, and basically we're just using the balance of terror for temp chains. Right, so what I do is I just get rid of my Watcher's Eye, and then I get rid of Sniper's Mark. It's not ideal, right? But this is what it is, and that's just how I run them. And then you just have to cast temp chains, and you don't get petrified. Okay. After that, I'll just put these back. I do have some other flasks that I like to use. So I have a Quicksilver flask that I replace my Stibnite with, and there's a lot of Voldos that are like 50% less movement speed and that kind of stuff where you need to be fast. So in that case, if I don't need the damage, then I will just use the Quicksilver. Okay, I also have one for Reflect as well. You got to be careful with Reflect if there is a any kind of increased damage taken or source of increased damage taken. So this can be from like Beyond, Delirium. There's also Ultimatum also has it. That will also start to counteract your flask, and eventually you'll get enough increased damage taken to where you start taking reflected damage again. So if you want to be really careful, you can also just do the Pantheon too, I think. But anyways. Okay, so we have the Reflect Flask. For the most part, it's okay though, just to run the Flask. And then I have a Phasing Flask. Because there is some buggy monsters that are invisible that don't die. They're invulnerable and they surround you and you won't be able to move. Or there's some maps where it's like movement skills are disabled, and if that happens, you pretty much can't move and you're screwed, right? So I have a phasing flask for that. There's also sometimes, yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It's some kind of bug, I think. Anyways, that does happen, so I keep a phasing flask on me. And then I had this one when I was running reduced aura effect maps early on. I didn't have enough resistance to cap my resistance, pretty much. So that's why I have this flask. I probably don't need it anymore because I have better gear. But anyways, that is the different flasks I'm using. Okay, and then I also do have a Awakened Ancestral Call. This one is really good because it really makes the clear a lot better. So if you don't need the damage and you just want to blast through the map really quickly, I put in the Awakened Ancestral Call. And I think that is it. I also do have an Aegis just in case I am running a map where it's like a one portal map and it's kind of rippy maybe, then I'll just put this on just to be safe, but generally don't really ever really need to use this. But it's just in case, you know, because you can always, in the map, you can always pause the game by pushing your passive tree, and then you can swap your gear out. Right, so I can pause, like say I'm doing a ritual, and in the middle of the ritual, it's kind of sketchy, right? You can kind of just do this, just swap things out, right? I did notice though that at one time I paused, I started to take damage. So I don't know, be careful with that. Just kind of be careful, but you can pause the game and swap gear around, swap passives around. I've swapped my passive tree all the time by using the pause menu in the maps. So okay, so that's pretty much it. Now I want to cover one other thing is, so I'm going to be building my character to farm the tough Voldos, so like the really tanky Voldo mods, so like the Union ones, like the Union of Souls, Delirium, and less damage per item maps, and those kind of ones. So I'm kind of going to change or gear my character to sort of complete those quickly. So basically that's why I'm using this gem like Cold Snap to give me Frenzy on kill, pretty much, and to cast some damage taken. I don't have Leap Slam right now because I still think I do want to keep Frost Shield, but eventually once I get enough damage, I'm at the point where even 100% Delirious Feared, I can just jump in and pretty much kill them in 1 to 2 seconds. So once I can do that with 100% less damage, 100% deli, and the 90% less damage taken, it's, you know, once I'm more comfortable without using the Frost Shields, then I'll probably get rid of Frost Shield altogether and just put Leap Slam here, or kind of see what happens. But anyways, there's probably a better, more elegant solution to get frenzies in the build. Like there is one Timeless Jewel that has it, like over here, I think, but alright, so I think that's going to be it, guys, for this kind of video build overview for this current setup. I'll make another one once we do actually have the full, like, completed gear, pretty much, but that's pretty much going to be it for this one, I think. But yeah, that'll be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.